Welcome back to another episode of DeHaan on Fire, brought to you by Firewise Learning Academy. DeHaan on Fire is a YouTube channel and podcast featuring education, commentary, and conversation with world-renowned fire investigator and forensic scientist Dr. John DeHaan. I'm your host, Tim Davis. In today's episode, we're going to rescue some footage from the cutting room floor again, left over from episode 7 when we were talking with Dr. DeHaan about stoichiometric ratio. In today's bonus content, Dr. DeHaan presents a case study on the mixing of fuels in the presence of a good ignition source and the importance of trace evidence. DeHaan on Fire contains discussion and video not suitable for all audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
I do have one case study, though, that kind of highlights not only that property of mixing in the presence of a good ignition source, but also the importance of trace evidence. This ultimately involved the neighbor of a guy, and the guy was rebuilding his house. So he had disconnected all, and they were remodeling it. He took all the gas appliances out, and they were still sitting unused. Gas was shut off at the outer wall, and the neighbor was taking exception to this remodeling. And so he came over during the night, opened the gas tap to the house, knowing that the stove was no longer connected. So it was basically an open line into this small 2-bedroom house. And but before he opened the gas tap, he had started a 3-day candle, big, 6 inches in diameter with an open flame. It was maybe 6 inches tall. He had started that on the floor of the empty living room and thought, well, I'm releasing gas into the building, it'll ignite any time. Well, some 12 hours after opening the gas valve on the outside of the house, neighbors walking by the house on a sidewalk way out in front could smell the gas. So they called the fire department. Fire department came. They could smell the gas. They could see the gas meter, churning. Luckily, they turned it off before they made any attempted entry. And the first team with the hose, the guy hit the door, and he said he could see something orange coming towards him, and he hit the deck. The guy behind him, which was helping him hold the hose, got slammed full in the face. He couldn't duck in time because he was holding the hose. He got slammed full in the chest by this flame front, knocked on his butt, and I think he injured an arm or a shoulder or something like that. He got injured. Luckily, the house went, but didn't explode into major pieces, because what had happened was, unbeknownst to our fire setter, there was a hatch, an attic access hatch left open in a back bedroom. So the natural gas rising for hours, most of it went out the back bedroom and up into the atmosphere through the attic. And what had happened was, apparently when the firefighters made entry, knocking the door in, stirred that ceiling high layer down in the contact with a burning candle. And that's what ignited everything in that sequence. Well, luckily the first guy in thought, as he kicked the door and started entry, he thought he saw a yellow glow in that corner. The fire wasn't sustained. It was out without a continuous fuel source. And when they got looking around, there was this big candle stuck on the floor in that corner. Well, it was there. It was kind of odd that it would be there in this empty house. But one of the fire investigators took a close look at the wall, because then the issue was, well, how do we know that was the ignition source? Was it lit? Was the ignition source? Well, we had the firefighter saying he saw a glow, but he couldn't identify where it was. Well, the fire investigator took a close look at the wall, and splattered on the wall right above where the candle was molten wax from the candle. And when the guy hit it with a hose stream, it splattered the melted wax onto the wall. So that completed the cycle. Yes, the candle was lit. It was at floor level. We had an open exit for the gas, and it was entirely intentional. And so they were able to put a case together and convict the next door neighbor of doing this. But trace evidence played an important role in actually confirming the ignition point.
Fascinating. Well, thank you for that answer. I suppose everybody who is watching these videos, step by step, each episode, are learning things not to do to try to deal with your neighbors.
Yeah, well, we'll hope it doesn't. People say, "Well, John told me how to start really good intentional fire. That they can't detect." Well, there is no such thing.
Exactly. Thanks again for tuning in to DeHaan on Fire, brought to you by Firewise Learning Academy. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? If not, please do so. Don't forget to ring the bell to get notifications of new uploads to the channel, and don't forget to set your devices to receive those notifications. And remember, if you have a question for Dr. DeHaan, email it to questions@dehaanonfire.com. Until the next time, I'm your host, Tim Davis. See you soon.